A delivery driver needs to visit 5 stops in a neighborhood. Common sense says take the shortest route between them. But the world's largest shipping company discovered something counterintuitive. By deliberately taking longer routes and avoiding one simple turn, they deliver packages faster, save millions in fuel, and revolutionized an entire industry. The secret? UPS trucks almost never turn left. Every day millions of drivers sit at intersections, waiting to turn left across oncoming traffic. It seems normal, inevitable even. But what if this everyday action was actually a massive inefficiency hiding in plain sight? In the 1970s, UPS engineers noticed something peculiar. Their drivers were spending excessive time idling at intersections, burning fuel while waiting for gaps in traffic. The solution they developed would sound absurd to anyone hearing it for the first time. Eliminate left turns almost entirely. Today, UPS drivers make right turns 90% of the time. Only 10% of their turns go left, and those are carefully calculated exceptions. This isn't an absolute rule, it's a sophisticated optimization strategy. The company saves 10 million gallons of fuel annually and delivers 350,000 additional packages each year without adding a single truck. The strategy seems to defy logic. How can taking longer routes possibly be more efficient? The answer lies in understanding what really matters in delivery logistics. Time in motion beats shortest distance every time. The statistics behind this right turn strategy read like fiction. UPS saves between $300 and $400 million annually, enough to fund a small country's infrastructure budget. But the numbers get more staggering. By avoiding left turns, UPS trucks drive 28.5 million fewer miles each year, despite individual routes sometimes being longer. That's equivalent to removing 20,000 cars from American roads permanently. The environmental impact? A reduction of 20,000 tons of CO2 emissions annually, the same as planting 320,000 trees. Federal data reveals the hidden danger of left turns. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 53.1% of traffic crossing accidents involve left-hand turns, compared to only 5.7% for right turns. In New York City specifically, left turns are 3 times more likely to cause a deadly pedestrian crash. Consider what happens during a typical left turn. A driver approaches an intersection, stops, and waits an average of 30 to 45 seconds for a safe gap in oncoming traffic. In busy urban areas, this wait can stretch to several minutes. Multiply that by hundreds of intersections per day, thousands of drivers, and 365 days a year. The wasted time becomes astronomical. The fuel savings alone, 10 million gallons, could fill 400,000 car tanks. That's enough fuel to drive a standard vehicle around Earth's equator 15,000 times. These aren't incremental improvements, they're transformative efficiencies that allowed UPS to reduce their fleet size by 1,100 trucks while handling more deliveries. Behind every UPS truck's seemingly random right turn route lies ORION, On-Road Integrated Optimization and Navigation. Introduced in 2008 after a decade of development, this isn't just GPS with a fancy name, it's one of the world's most sophisticated logistics algorithms, processing more data points daily than most supercomputers handle in a week. ORION analyzes 250 million address points every single day. The system performs 30,000 route optimizations per minute, calculating the most efficient path for each driver while maintaining the right turn preference. Every left turn carries a 20-second penalty in the algorithm's calculations, making the system actively seek right turn alternatives unless absolutely necessary. The software's proprietary maps surpass anything available to consumers. While Google Maps might show a street, ORION knows which side of that street has the delivery entrance, whether there's a loading dock, parking lot configurations, private driveways, variable speed limits, and even which businesses close for lunch. These custom maps account for truck-inaccessible roads and precise turning radiuses required for large vehicles. This evolution began with loop dispatch in the 1970s, a manual method where routes were planned as a series of right-turning loops starting on one side of a street. As computing power grew, so did the sophistication. The modern ORION system has reduced UPS's annual mileage by 185 million miles since implementation. What's fascinating is that ORION sometimes creates routes that look completely illogical on a map. Drivers might pass a delivery address, drive 3 blocks away, then circle back, all to avoid a single left turn. Have you ever noticed your UPS driver taking an unusual route to your house? Drop a comment if you've witnessed this strategy in action. The algorithm even accounts for human factors. Veteran drivers who know their routes intimately can override Orion's suggestions based on local conditions, but the system learns from these overrides, continuously improving its recommendations. However, UPS's data shows that the algorithm generally outperforms human intuition at scale. The Discovery Channel's Mythbusters put this strategy to the test in a controlled experiment. Following right-turn-only routes, they used approximately one-third less fuel than traditional routing, even though the distance traveled was slightly longer. This independent validation proved what UPS had known for decades. Movement beats distance when fuel and time are the metrics that matter. These efficiency gains have sparked a revolution across the logistics industry. Subscribe now to see next week's breakdown of how FedEx and Amazon developed completely different approaches to the same problem, strategies that might surprise you even more. The time savings compound dramatically. Each avoided left turn saves 30 to 45 seconds of idle time. For a delivery company making millions of stops daily, these seconds transform into hours. UPS's right-turn heavy routes reduce idling time at intersections, allowing drivers to complete more deliveries efficiently. This principle extends to accident prevention. UPS drivers experience fewer accidents per mile driven than industry averages, partly due to reduced exposure to high-risk left-turn scenarios. Fewer accidents mean fewer insurance claims, less vehicle downtime, and more consistent delivery schedules, creating a cascade of operational benefits. The strategy adapts globally with surprising elegance. In countries with left-hand traffic like the United Kingdom, Japan, and Australia, UPS reverses the principle. Their drivers avoid right turns instead. The underlying physics remain the same. Crossing oncoming traffic wastes time and increases risk, regardless of which side of the road you drive on. As of 2025, UPS continues refining this approach. The company is exploring similar avoid features for other routing challenges, such as sharp turns or service roads, to further optimize for large vehicles. Integration with autonomous delivery vehicles promises even greater efficiency, as self-driving trucks can execute this strategy with perfect consistency, never succumbing to the human temptation to just make this one left turn. Other companies have taken notice. FedEx, Amazon, and regional delivery services are developing their own routing optimizations inspired by UPS's success. Urban planners are studying the UPS effect on city traffic flows, with some proposing that road designs discouraging left turns could reduce overall congestion by 15 to 20%. Singapore and Copenhagen have already implemented modified traffic patterns based on these insights. Recent developments show UPS investing heavily in GPS tracking and real-time data to adjust routes dynamically. These technologies complement the right-turn-heavy strategy by providing instant feedback on traffic conditions, allowing for micro-adjustments that save additional time and fuel. UPS didn't just optimize delivery routes. They challenged a fundamental assumption about efficiency. The shortest path between 2 points might be a straight line in geometry. But in the real world, the optimal path considers time, fuel, safety, and systemic effects. This same principle appears throughout business innovation. Netflix didn't try to build better video stores, they eliminated them. Tesla didn't create more efficient gas engines, they removed them entirely. Sometimes the biggest breakthroughs come from questioning what everyone accepts as necessary. The right-turn strategy demonstrates how small changes, multiplied across massive scale, create revolutionary results. One avoided left turn saves seconds. Millions of avoided left turns transform an industry, save millions in fuel costs, and prevent thousands of tons of emissions. What other obvious business practices could be revolutionized by questioning basic assumptions? Which everyday inefficiencies are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone to ask, what if we just didn't do that? Share your thoughts below, and if you want more revelations about how America's biggest companies discovered counterintuitive strategies that changed everything, subscribe and hit the notification bell. The story of how FedEx and Amazon responded to UPS's innovation might be even more surprising than this one.